Rob Pelinka has finally broken his silence, and what he revealed could mark the turning point for the Los Angeles Lakers' upcoming season. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. After weeks of speculation and growing frustration from fans demanding change, the Lakers front office made a bold move. They signed 26-year-old center DeAndre Ayton, a former #1 overall pick, to a 2-year deal. And now, for the first time, Pelinka is explaining exactly why this move happened, and what it means for the future of the franchise. According to Pelinka, the front office entered this offseason with a clear mission: find a dominant, starting-level center who could anchor the team on both ends of the floor. Someone who could protect the rim, control the paint, rebound at an elite level, and still be a threat on offense. In Pelinka's own words, bringing in a starting-caliber center was our top priority this offseason. We believe DeAndre Ayton is the perfect solution. He's the kind of player who complements our current core, a player with size, mobility, and athleticism. He gives us a scoring presence inside, and also defends the paint. It's a rare combination. But that's not all. Pelinka emphasized that Ayton's experience in the playoffs, especially as a starter on an NBA Finals team, brings tremendous value to a Lakers roster that's chasing nothing less than a championship. DeAndre's experience in the postseason aligns perfectly with our championship goals. He's been to the finals. He's played in high-pressure moments. That kind of experience is invaluable. And those playoff stats? Quietly impressive. In 45 career postseason games, Ayton has averaged nearly 16 points and over 10 rebounds while shooting nearly 63% from the field. That kind of production, on that kind of efficiency, is exactly what the Lakers have been missing in the paint. Let's rewind for a second. DeAndre Ayton began his NBA journey with the Phoenix Suns, where he spent 5 seasons as their starting center. He was a key part of the Suns' deep playoff runs, especially in 2021, when they made it all the way to the NBA Finals. But after internal tension and inconsistent roles, Ayton was eventually traded to the Portland Trail Blazers just before the 2023-24 season. In Portland, he put up solid numbers: 15.7 points, 10.7 rebounds, and a block per game. Still, it became clear that Ayton wasn't part of the Blazers' long-term plans. With the team fully rebuilding around young talent, the two sides agreed to a buyout, freeing Ayton to explore his next chapter. That chapter begins now, in Los Angeles. Ayton arrives on a mission. He's no longer a young prospect. He's entering the prime of his career. And for the first time since entering the league, he's got something to prove. Critics have questioned his intensity, his motor, his consistency, but the Lakers are betting big that, in the right environment, Ayton can thrive. And with rumors swirling around a potential partnership with Luka Doncic, yes, that Luka, the Lakers might be cooking up something massive. Imagine Ayton running pick-and-rolls with an elite playmaker like Doncic, catching lobs, finishing above the rim, dominating second-chance points. On defense, imagine him patrolling the paint, blocking shots, securing boards, and setting the tone physically. There's also one undeniable truth: the Lakers desperately needed this. Last season, LA ranked near the bottom of the league in rebounding. Time and time again, they were bullied inside, outworked on the boards, and overmatched by teams with true interior threats. Ayton changes that narrative. Standing 6 feet 11 inches, with a 7 feet 6 inches wingspan, he brings a physical presence that can't be ignored. But it's not just about size, it's about skill. Ayton has soft hands, a reliable mid-range jumper, and the footwork to finish around the rim. He's not just a defender. He's a two-way force. Pelinka's message is clear: the Lakers are not settling. They're not content with just making the playoffs. This move signals something bigger, a full-on push to return to title contention. And Ayton could be the piece that makes that vision possible. So, what comes next? The pressure is now on Ayton to deliver, and on the Lakers to build around him. With LeBron James nearing the twilight of his career, this signing could not have come at a better time. And if Ayton plays to his potential, watch out. Because when DeAndre Ayton is locked in, motivated, and surrounded by the right pieces, he can be one of the most impactful big men in the league. And now, under the bright lights of LA, with championship expectations looming, he has the chance to prove exactly that. The Lakers made their move. Now it's time for Ayton to make his. Jackson Hayes just made a move that could reshape his future, and it's sending waves through the Los Angeles Lakers front office. After a season full of inconsistency at the center position, the Lakers knew something had to change. They entered this offseason with a clear mission: fix the front court. And while there was hope that Jackson Hayes could be part of that solution, his late-season performance raised more questions than answers. Hayes started strong. He brought energy, athleticism, and rim-running ability. But as the grind of the season wore on, so did the shine. By the time the playoffs arrived, his limitations were hard to ignore: struggles in the paint, defensive lapses, and an inability to control the boards in key moments. The Lakers needed more, and they knew it. Still, Hayes had value. At 25 years old, he's still young, athletic, and brings size and vertical spacing, all valuable traits in today's NBA. So when free agency opened, the question wasn't whether he'd stay or go, it was about how the Lakers would use him moving forward. Eventually, both sides agreed on a one-year deal to keep Hayes in Los Angeles. But what made the agreement even more interesting was the presence of an implicit no-trade clause, a built-in protection that gave Hayes the right to veto any deal. Sounds like a bold move, right? Well, here's the twist. That protection, it's gone. According to Dan Woik of The Athletic, Jackson Hayes has officially waived his no-trade rights. And that changes everything. Now, let's be clear, this wasn't a traditional no-trade clause written into his contract. Instead, it was a protection automatically granted under the NBA's collective bargaining agreement. When a player signs a one-year deal with the same team after 3 or more seasons, he earns the right to veto any trade. Why? Because being traded would eliminate his bird rights, a key advantage when negotiating future contracts. By waiving that right, Hayes has given the Lakers full control. They can now include him in trades without needing his permission. So what does this mean for Hayes? And more importantly, what does it mean for the Lakers? For Hayes, it's a gamble. He's betting on himself, showing he's willing to be flexible, and trusting that his performance will earn him a long-term spot, either in LA or elsewhere. For the Lakers, it's all about leverage. They now have one more trade chip available if the right opportunity comes along. And in a season where every move could be the difference between a deep playoff run and an early exit, flexibility is everything. This also comes on the heels of one of the most shocking trades in recent NBA memory: the Blockbuster that sent Anthony Davis to Dallas in exchange for Luka Doncic. That February deal didn't just shake the Western Conference, it flipped the entire power structure of the league. With Doncic now running the show in LA, the entire identity of the team has shifted. No longer built around a dominant big man, the Lakers are now crafting an offense around a generational playmaker, and that means role players like Hayes need to adapt fast. To his credit, Hayes responded well in the immediate aftermath of the trade. With the front court rotation in flux, he stepped up. He wasn't just filling minutes, he was contributing. He ran the floor, finished strong at the rim, and brought energy off the bench. Playing alongside Luka Doncic, Hayes seemed more comfortable, more focused, and more impactful. For a stretch, it looked like this could be a turning point. The former lottery pick was finally starting to look like the player scouts once raved about. And with Doncic feeding him lobs and creating open looks, Hayes was thriving in his role. But as the season wore on, that momentum faded. In the playoffs, when every possession matters, Hayes once again struggled to stay consistent. Defensive rotations, rebounding battles, communication, all areas where Hayes had shown improvement, started to break down under pressure. The numbers from last season paint a mixed picture. In 56 games, including 35 starts, Hayes averaged 6.8 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 1 assist in just under 20 minutes per game. Offensively, he was remarkably efficient, shooting an incredible 72% from the field. But the impact didn't always show up in the box score. And when the Lakers needed a stabilizing presence in the paint, it often wasn't Hayes providing it. With DeAndre Ayton now in LA, things are different. Ayton is expected to anchor the paint, dominate the boards, and bring consistency to the center position, something the Lakers have lacked since Davis's departure. Hayes, meanwhile, is now competing for minutes, and potentially for a spot on the team long-term. So what's next? That's the million-dollar question. Hayes starts the season in Los Angeles, but there's no telling where he'll finish it. With his trade restrictions lifted, the Lakers have full flexibility to move him if they see a better fit, whether that's part of a bigger deal or a simple roster upgrade. For now, Hayes remains a Laker. But he's playing on a short leash, with limited security and a spotlight on every move he makes. He's no longer the promising rookie with time to grow. He's a young veteran trying to prove he belongs. The pressure is on. The window for mistakes is small. And in a city like Los Angeles, where the lights shine bright and expectations are sky high, the clock is always ticking. Jackson Hayes bet on himself. Now it's time to see if that bet pays off. Could Bradley Beal be the next big name to join the Los Angeles Lakers? This question has been buzzing through NBA circles recently, and the rumors are growing louder by the day. After a challenging and disappointing chapter with the Phoenix Suns, it seems that both Beal and the franchise are ready to part ways. Multiple insiders have reported that the Suns are preparing to buy out Beal's contract, planning to stretch the remaining salary over several years. This move would officially close the book on what many consider a frustrating and underwhelming tenure for both sides. Once that buyout is complete, Bradley Beal will hit the market as one of the most attractive free agents available, especially for teams with championship aspirations. And naturally, the Lakers are at the top of the list of interested teams. NBA insider Evan Sidery of Forbes recently shared that the Lakers, along with other strong contenders like the Milwaukee Bucks, Los Angeles Clippers, Denver Nuggets, and Miami Heat, are all expected to show significant interest in Beal as soon as he becomes available. However, the landscape is already shifting rapidly. Just this week, the Miami Heat completed a surprising three-team trade that brought Norman Powell into the fold. This acquisition likely means the Heat are stepping back from pursuing Beal. The Denver Nuggets, on the other hand, recently signed Tim Hardaway Jr., which may mean their backcourt is effectively locked in, pushing them out of the running as well. That leaves the Los Angeles Clippers and Milwaukee Bucks as well as the Lakers as the main suitors still actively vying for Beal's signature. Both the Clippers and Bucks have glaring needs in their backcourt rotations. The Clippers, with James Harden leading the offense, require another dependable scorer alongside him. The Bucks, too, are searching for a consistent and proven presence at the guard position, as neither of their current options have filled that void adequately. Then there's the Lakers, a team that could use a player of Beal's caliber in multiple ways. Imagine this scenario: Bradley Beal starting in the backcourt alongside Austin Reeves, with Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton forming a formidable frontcourt. This lineup would pack a powerful offensive punch, with scoring threats and playmakers scattered all across the floor. It's a group built to space the floor and relentlessly attack the basket. Alternatively, the Lakers could opt for a bigger starting lineup by bringing Rui Hachimura into the starting five and utilizing Beal as the team's sixth man. In that role, Beal would lead the second unit, providing instant scoring and shooting punch off the bench, something the Lakers have been missing. One of Beal's biggest strengths is his shooting. He is a career 37.6% shooter from beyond the arc, capable of stretching defenses and opening driving lanes for teammates. Even in his challenging season with Phoenix, Beal managed to average 17 points per game, impressive numbers given the turmoil around him. In a more stable environment like the Lakers, with elite facilitators like Luka Doncic and LeBron James creating opportunities, Beal's scoring could be even more efficient and impactful. His ability to knock down open shots and create scoring opportunities makes him an ideal fit in the Lakers' offensive system. With Beal spacing the floor, the team could run faster, open up driving lanes, and keep defenses constantly on their heels. However, there are concerns when it comes to defense. A potential starting lineup featuring Reeves, Beal, Doncic, James, and Ayton doesn't offer elite defensive capabilities. None of those five players are known as lockdown defenders, and that could pose significant challenges in a Western Conference filled with explosive, high-powered offenses. Still, the Lakers may be betting on outscoring their opponents rather than slowing them down. With offensive juggernauts like Steph Curry, Devin Booker, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander roaming the West, sometimes the best defense is a relentless attack. From a depth perspective, adding Beal on even a short-term deal would be a major upgrade. His experience as a three-time All-Star brings invaluable leadership and scoring to a team hungry for both. For the Lakers, who are eager to make one final championship run while LeBron James is still in his prime, a player like Beal could be a crucial piece. But before anything happens, the buyout must be finalized. Once Beal officially hits the free agent market, the Lakers will have a critical decision to make. Will they make a push and bring him aboard? Will Bradley Beal don the purple and gold this season? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear: the race to add firepower in the Western Conference is heating up, and the Lakers are right in the middle of the action. Stay tuned for all the latest updates, because this story is far from over.